The disturbing story of missing 7-year-old Jason. It was a quiet autumn evening on October 3, 2015, when 7-year-old Jason Bennett vanished from his neighborhood in Greenfield, a small, tight-knit community nestled on the outskirts of Portland, Oregon. His mother, Rachel Bennett, remembers the evening clearly. It was around 5:30 p.m., and the leaves were turning gold and crimson, the air crisp and cool. Jason had just finished his dinner and asked if he could ride his bike around the cul-de-sac, as he often did. She nodded absent-mindedly, keeping an eye on him through the kitchen window. Jason's red BMX bike was his pride and joy, a gift from his father, who had been deployed overseas for over 6 months. He always wore his bright yellow helmet, which made him easy to spot from a distance. That evening, Jason rode circles around the neighborhood, waving at neighbors and occasionally stopping to pick up a leaf or a rock that caught his eye. By 6 p.m. the sun had dipped lower, casting long shadows across the street. Rachel glanced outside and saw Jason talking to their next-door neighbor, Mrs. Carmichael, an elderly woman known for baking cookies for the neighborhood kids. She seemed to be pointing towards something further down the road, and Jason's small figure turned in that direction, pedaling slowly. That was the last time Rachel saw her son. When 6:15 rolled around, Rachel stepped outside, calling Jason's name. No answer. She called again, louder this time. Still nothing. A pit formed in her stomach. She walked up and down the street, calling his name, expecting him to ride up any second, grinning ear to ear. But he didn't. Panic began to set in. She knocked on neighbors' doors, her voice shaking. "Have you seen Jason? He's wearing a blue hoodie, jeans, and his yellow helmet." One by one, the neighbors shook their heads, concern etching onto their faces. Mrs. Carmichael said he had waved goodbye and headed towards the small park at the end of the street, where a few other children were playing. Rachel rushed to the park, heart pounding, but all she found were empty swings swaying gently in the breeze. Rachel called the police at 6:42 p.m. Within an hour, the entire neighborhood was out searching. Flashlights flickered in the growing darkness, and voices called out Jason's name into the chilly night. Officers combed through the park, wooded areas, and even the nearby creek. Search dogs were brought in, sniffing the air and the ground, but they kept circling back to the same spot, near the edge of the park where Jason's tire tracks abruptly stopped. The only clue left behind was Jason's yellow helmet, lying on the ground beside the tire marks. It looked as if it had been dropped there, deliberately placed. There were no signs of a struggle, no footprints other than Jason's, and no other belongings. Just the helmet, glaringly bright under the searchlights. Days turned into weeks. The media swarmed the small community, and Jason's face, freckled cheeks, bright blue eyes, and a toothy grin was plastered on every news station, flyer, and website. "Where is Jason Bennett?" became the question on everyone's lips. Tips flooded in, leading to dead ends and false hopes. One woman claimed she saw a boy matching Jason's description at a gas station 3 towns over, but it turned out to be another child. Another witness reported seeing a red BMX bike abandoned near a hiking trail 15 miles away, but when the police investigated, the bike was nowhere to be found. Jason's father was flown back from his deployment, his face lined with grief and exhaustion as he stood beside Rachel during the tearful press conferences. "Please, if you know anything, if you've seen anything, just tell us. We need our son back." But the days continued to pass without any new leads. On the 6-month anniversary of his disappearance, a vigil was held in Jason's honor. Candles lined the park where he was last seen, and people whispered prayers and shared stories of the little boy who loved dinosaurs, soccer, and building Lego castles in his living room. The Bennett family tried to remain hopeful, but as the 1-year mark approached, hope turned to heartache. The case officially went cold in October 2016. To this day, Jason Bennett's disappearance remains one of Oregon's most baffling mysteries. There were no suspects, no ransom demands, no sightings that could be confirmed. It was as if Jason had simply vanished into thin air. His parents still live in the same house, his room preserved just as it was, filled with toys and books he never got to finish. The red BMX bike, though never recovered, has become a symbol of the loss the family endures each day, a reminder of the boy who rode off one crisp autumn evening and never returned. And every year on October 3rd, Rachel Bennett places a single yellow helmet on their front porch, a silent vigil, a plea for answers, and a glimmer of hope that someday, somehow, Jason will come home. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and comment your scary ideas below for future videos.